Hello, dear and beloved science students. It's your favorite teacher, Mr. Heckenlively, coming to you on Monday, April 27th, 2020, during the lockdown. Hope you guys had a great weekend. Hope you guys are not driving your parents or siblings crazy, and hopefully you're being very good to each other. Okay, let's go over a couple things. Tomorrow, Tuesday, I'm going to do another Google Meet. Period 1, I'll meet from 8 o'clock to 8:20. Period 2, we'll meet from 8:20 to 8:40. And period 8, we'll meet from 8:40 to 9 o'clock. I know it's a little bit early to get up, but it does kind of mimic school, so hopefully I'm going to see more of you in class tomorrow at the Google Meet. All right, so what I've also learned how to do is to put assignments into Google Classroom. So last night when I checked to see if you guys had all done the science review, I noticed that only about half of you, or maybe 10, 12 per class, still hadn't turned it in. So remember, I am going to be starting to put a completion grade in the grade book. So I will be putting that in today, so I really want to see that you have done it. You really need to turn in, or else we are told that I must email you, and if you don't respond to the emails, I must call your homes. So I know you don't want to receive a call from me and then have to talk to your parents about it because you can't escape from the house. So please, please turn those in. It will be better for you and better for me. Okay, what I also did last night was I put a key in for the science review, but I thought what I would simply do is I would simply go over it verbally, because I think that helps students and it allows me to talk about some of the important issues. So in the science grade review, remember, it looks like this. The first question was, name 2 biotic things at Gale Ranch, grass and people. Name 2 abiotic things at Gale Ranch, desks and chairs. Biotic means living, abiotic means not living. What are 6 elements necessary for life? I taught you that acronym SHNOPS: carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen, oxygen, phosphorus, and sulfur. What is a producer, and give an example? That's an organism that makes its own food, like a tree. What's a consumer, and give an example? An organism that eats other organisms, and that could be both plants or animals. I gave the example of the lion. What is a decomposer, and give an example? An organism that breaks down the bodies of dead organisms, like a mushroom. What is coal made from? It's made from the remains of dead tropical plants. So see, that's why that fact was really important when we were looking at continental drift, because we would find coal fields in areas which are now very cold, and that provided evidence that the continents had moved because tropical plants could no longer grow in the locations in which the coal was found. Okay, what do tectonic plates float on? They float on magma. How can continental drift affect an ecosystem? By moving ecosystems to warmer or colder climates. What is the main source of energy for most ecosystems? That would be the sun. Define commensalism in an ecosystem and provide an example. A relationship in which one organism benefits and the other is unaffected. And a good example of that is barnacles on a whale, because the barnacles benefit, but the whale really isn't harmed by that at all, or helped. 12, define predation in an ecosystem and give an example. A relationship in which one organism kills and eats another organism. That would be like lions and gazelles. Why are there fewer animals at the top of a food web than at the bottom? Because only about 10% of the energy goes between levels, so there's not much energy left at the top. That's why we showed when you did your energy pyramid, you found that there's only really about 3 or 4 different levels in any ecosystem, because at the top there's just not much energy. Why is a food web a better description than a food chain? Because it's a more complete picture of the way energy can travel through an ecosystem. 15, what are 3 or 4 for you smarties? States of matter, solid, liquid, gas, and plasma. 16, how are atoms different than molecules? Atoms are the smallest building blocks of matter and make up all molecules. What is a control group? A control group is a group that does not receive the special treatment which is being studied. What is the difference between mass and volume? Mass is the amount of matter in an item, and volume is the amount of space it takes up. What happens to water vapor in the air when it cools? The water molecules in the air move closer together, forming droplets which turn into rain. And lastly, write a simple hypothesis in an if-then format. For example, if I did this review, then I realized I'm really good at science. So hopefully that was a helpful review. Hopefully it challenged your brain, took your mind off of being stuck in the house for a little while. Okay, so what I have put into Google Classrooms is this assignment on the rock cycle. Okay, so that first picture, you see a house that's sliding down the slope. In the next picture, you see a before and after picture of a volcanic explosion. So we're going to spend the week working on the rock cycle. We have 3 assignments for the rock cycle, so we'll be doing that Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And it's kind of interesting because the new standards have us talking to you about the rock cycle as we're going through ecosystems, which when we first thought about it, we didn't really think it made a lot of sense. It kind of fits in. I can see how we might just talk about the rock cycle in relationship to living organisms. If a volcano blows up, okay, it's going to change the environment. So it kind of works, but that's where they told us to talk about the rock cycle with you this year. And so what you're going to be doing is you're going to be reviewing the rock cycle and developing models. There are some videos that go along with it. They are pretty interesting, and I think it's just sort of a nice review, and maybe will deepen your understanding of the rock cycle. Okay, so remember, I hope to see more of you tomorrow at the Google Meets, and make sure you turn your assignments in, or you'll get a call from me to your parents, which I know will horrify you. Okay, so be good. You don't want me to call. I'll be as annoying as a telephone solicitor. All right? Okay, thanks, and have a great day.